My name is Chinedu. When I was 10 years old, my father died and left my mother and me alone in this world. Every morning before sunrise, my mother would leave the house to sell vegetables in the market. Sometimes she returned home with barely enough money to buy food. Yet she always smiled and said, "One evening I woke up hungry. I saw my mother pretending to eat. But when she left the room, I discovered her plate was empty. She had given me her own food. That night, I cried silently. The next day at school, my classmates laughed at my torn uniform. I felt ashamed. But when I returned home, I found my mother sewing my uniform by candlelight. Her fingers were bleeding. "Mama, why are your fingers bleeding?" She quickly hid her hands and smiled.
It's nothing, my son.
But I knew she was suffering because of me. Years passed. I became one of the best students in school. My mother was proud of me. But one terrible day changed everything. While selling in the market, my mother suddenly collapsed. People rushed her to the hospital. When I got there, the doctor's words shattered my heart. "Your mother is seriously ill."
Your mother is seriously ill.
I felt my world crumble.
It's expensive. And we had no money, not even enough for the first payment.
That night, I knelt beside my mother's bed. "Mama, please don't leave me." She touched my face and whispered, "I will always be with you, my son." The following morning, I made a decision. I would do anything to save my mother, even if it meant sacrificing my own future. The doctor looked at me and shook his head. "Your mother needs surgery immediately." My heart nearly stopped. The amount he mentioned was more money than I had ever seen in my life. I ran from one relative to another asking for help. Some pretended not to know me. Others said they had their own problems. That was the day I learned that poverty has very few friends. That evening, I returned to the hospital empty-handed. My mother looked at my face and knew immediately. She smiled weakly.
Don't cry, my son. God will make a way.
But I could barely hold back my tears. The next morning, I stopped going to school. I decided to find work. My classmates were preparing for their exams while I was carrying heavy loads in the market. I was determined to save my mother.